So I got to go to Oz Comic Con here in Melbourne, Australia on June the 8th, 2025. It's about a week ago now. And I'm going to talk about some of the really cool stuff I got to see. Just some of the stuff I got coming up here. I got to meet Giancarlo Esposito. I got to go with my friends dressed as the Red Dead Redemption 2 characters. And I got to meet the awesome Michael Busuttil, who edits the Radiant Black and Rogue Sun comic series. And he is an awesome guy. So stay tuned for that. So this was my first ever proper Comic-Con that I went in as costume. I did go to Supernova with Jess to meet Tamara Morrison, the actor for Boba Fett. And along with that, we also got to see Tom Taylor, the writer for Nightwing, my favorite superhero. So that was really cool. But mainly, we just saw a lot of people in costume and thought, hey, we need to do that next time. So then when we found out that Oz Comic Con was coming up, we spoke to all the boys and decided, hey, we're going to all go as something. So about a week before the con hit, we all decided we were going to do the Vanderlyn gang from Red Dead Redemption 2 and all go in costumes as that. And considering there was only a week to go, I have to say, these look pretty damn awesome. The fact that I was able to find the amount of stuff I needed to make my costume this accurate to John Marston in a week and put it all together blew my mind. I didn't think I was even capable of doing something like that. As you guys can see in the photo, I got to do John, Cuba got to do Dutch, Liam got to do Javier, and those two are from the Here's the Thing podcast, so go follow them. And Emma Hahn got to do the amazing Arthur Morgan. Originally, I didn't think I did that good of a job and that I wasn't really going to get recognized going in, but there were literally groups of people fangirling, coming up and being like, can we please take a photo? I was like, oh, wow. Even when I wasn't with the boys and I was just walking around, there were people coming and asking to take a photo. So that really felt rewarding as someone who spent so much time, money, and effort in that costume. Unfortunately, though, I don't even have any of those photos and I don't know if they were posted anywhere. So if anyone watching this was at Oz Comic Con and took a photo with me as John Marsden, please feel free to send me some of those photos in the DMs. I would love to see them. But one of the really cool things we got to do was meet the awesome and talented Giancarlo Esposito himself. Now, obviously, we're all going to know him as Gus from Breaking Bad, but he's been in a lot of things. I mean, he was in Star Wars, and recently he was in Captain America. He's in The Boys as well, Far Cry, and he was just such an awesome guy. You don't notice how different the American accent is until you're that close to a person with the American accent. And we got to shake his hand and take a photo with him. And he was such a friendly guy, which I wasn't expecting from someone who I see play all these villains on TV. He even took a photo with us doing the face that he does in all those movies and shows that he's in. The villain kind of angry looking face. I'm going to have to get that framed. But yeah, after that, he did a Q&A and he was just such a friendly man. I honestly didn't expect it from such an evil character in the stuff that I watch him in. As friendly as he was, I would have loved to have spent more time talking to him. I know you can't really do that at Comic-Con, but it would be so cool if you could just pay for a 5-minute one-on-one where you could just chat to each other. That would be really cool. I guess that's kind of what the Q&A is, but it could have been a lot cooler. And for the final and probably one of the coolest things I got to do is I got to meet Michael Busuttil, who is the editor for the Radiant Black comic series. Now, for those of you who don't know what Radiant Black is, it's published by Image Comics, who did Invincible. And while it's not the same thing as Invincible or similar at all, even though a lot of people compare it to Invincible for some reason, it's still a really good and awesome story. Basically, he's a superhero and he's got these like black hole powers. He's called Radiant Black and his comic series is just so good. He's very similar to Nova, and that's important. Nova's my favorite Marvel superhero. I mean, he's insane. So yeah, if you haven't read Radiant Black yet, you should go read Radiant Black if you like stuff like Invincible. It's obviously, it's two different things. I don't want to compare them because they're not similar. I don't know why people say they're similar. The only thing that they're similar in is it throws you into this whole world where you don't know any other superheroes, and it gives you this amazing story. And for that, and for kind of being a more indie comic, and comic character, it's just so good. He also does Rogue Sun, which is a character in Radiant Black's universe. They had a crossover recently. And while he is just the editor, he is a super cool guy, and he obviously works very hard on these and was very passionate about his comics. So I went up to him and asked him if I could interview him, and the man let me interview him. So I'm going to play a bit of that interview for you guys right now so you guys can have a watch and hear a little bit about the man. Hey guys, we're here at Oz Comic Con today on today the 8th of June 2025, here with Michael, is it Busuttil, the editor for Radiant Black and Rogue Sun at Image Comics. And we're just here to do a quick little interview with him today and see what he thinks about some of his work that he's done in the past. If that's cool with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
So my first question for you is, do you remember the first comic you ever edited? And what was the most challenging part of it?
Well, it was Radiant Black #1.
Oh wow, there you go.
Was the first book I ever edited. So I had worked, this is Matt Groom.
Yeah.
I had worked with him on Self-Made, which is a book he made.
Yeah.
But I was the designer on that book.
Okay.
And then after that, took a little time off, and when Kyle was developing Radiant Black, asked me to edit it for a guy who would be good at it, and brought me on that. So the most challenging part is I have learned everything we've done here on the job. Like, I did not go to school to edit comics.
Yeah.
I didn't have a boss who taught me how to edit comics. I very much learned all of it as you'll be going.
Yeah.
And it's tough. There's stuff that you only learn after you've made a mistake once or twice.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's good. I like doing it.
That's awesome. Fantastic. Glad to hear. Hopefully sticks to doing it because I'm loving the series that I'm reading.
Love to hear it.
Next question. Do you prefer working on Radiant Black or Rogue Sun? And do you have a favorite issue that you've ever worked on?
If I answer, Kyle and Ryan might see this.
Tell
and
you
they
what.
will come after me about it. They're quite different to work on.
Yeah.
Kyle and Ryan and Abel and Marcelo and all of those people work differently. You know, everybody needs different types of input from me. Radiant Black, I feel like I'm more hands-on on, and Rogue Sun, you know, Ryan's scripts come in fully formed, and I just have to sort of like check that I don't have any huge notes and pass them on. I like working on them both nearly equally.
Okay.
They are
Well,
both,
not one child over the other.
No, they're both challenging in their own ways,
Yeah.
but I have fun on both of them.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Okay, well, glad to hear it. And the final question I've got for you today is, if you were to work on any other comics other than Radiant Black and Rogue Sun, what comic, superhero, character would you want to work on? Do you have a choice or anything? DC, Marvel, or something?
I mean, everybody said it would be cool to work on Batman at some point,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, fair
Matt's
enough.
working on a Batman thing at the moment,
Oh,
and
awesome.
we have talked about it. And it's like, oh yeah, it'd be good to. I have thoughts about like what a Batman line could look like, as from an editorial perspective, that I think would be great to one day get a swing at. But also, there's Spider-Man and there's the X-Men.
You love them all too much.
And there's also all of the guys that I don't love at the moment. Like, I didn't love Radiant Black before we started on Radiant Black, because Radiant Black didn't exist yet.
Yeah, true.
So then I think about all of the characters that I don't currently love, that you grow to love over, like, as you start to edit them, you work out what's interesting about them and how to tell stories with them. And so there's no one who would be a real, like, oh, I don't want to do this. It's all about finding your way into them and working out what's interesting.
Oh, okay, cool.
But Batman.
Okay. You think you've got a pretty good idea of what you'd want to do with him?
I mean, it would depend on what had just been done with him.
Yeah.
And they're doing such cool stuff with Batman at the moment that I would want to replace
Oh,
the current editorial.
absolute Batman 2 is being
Yeah,
great
they're
as well
doing
from what
great
I've seen.
stuff. So
Yeah.
this is not me coming for someone's job. It is just like, at some point in the future, if that job opened up, I would love to take a swing.
Would be awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Lovely to meet the lovely Michael Busuttil.
Close enough.
Busuttil, got it. Let's go. Lovely to meet him. Make sure to pick up Radiant Black and Rogue Sun if you haven't, because they're amazing and really interesting. And yeah, thanks for watching today, guys. Have a good one.
So yeah, that was Michael Busuttil and his thoughts on Radiant Black. As you guys can see, a super friendly guy, and that's why it kind of shocked me when I found out he doesn't get a lot of attention. What I mean by that is I brought him the newest issue of Radiant Black, which is issue 34, and because this is the newest issue, he hadn't signed one yet. So he signed it for me, and now I have the first ever Radiant Black issue 34 that he has ever signed before in the world, which is crazy to me, especially since I'm like not the craziest comics guy. The fact that I now own the first ever issue that he's ever signed, hence the little one there. See that little number 1? It's gonna be important to me. But wow, man, apparently he doesn't have a lot of people coming up and asking him to sign stuff. So that's really upsetting to hear, because he's such a friendly dude. So make sure if you guys see him at that Comic-Con or any other Comic-Con, make sure to say hi and ask him to sign your Radiant Black or anything, really. Because again, the man is just so friendly and down to earth. It's just so cool to talk to someone like that. But yeah, that was my experience at Oz Comic Con 2025. And it was a really cool one. I haven't gone to a lot. That's my second ever Comic Con that I've ever been to. And this one I got to do with my friends as a like group costume thing. So the experience just got better and better. And honestly, I kind of hope I get to do a lot more of that stuff in the future. So if you guys like this, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.